Welcome to the Fields of Code tutorial series, and to this tutorial, Collecting Personal Information, Part 2, the Insurance page. Your other typically used page while collecting personal information from patients is the Insurance page. If you never used the page for this patient before, it will initially be empty. This can indicate that insurance information was either not collected or that the patient has no insurance. Click the Add Insurance Information Sheet button on the toolbar. The system assigns an insurance record where you can arrange the information efficiently. Some patients are the primary insured, such as a husband, for example, who has insurance through his work, but this may not necessarily be applicable to his wife if she is a stay-at-home parent with no insurance of her own. I will assume this patient is insured through employment. In this case, I must press the Assign Self as the Person Insured button found within the record. This saves me some work because all these fields were already set on the personal page. The system will populate these for me and prevent duplication. If you want to edit any of these fields, it cannot be done here. You are permitted to modify them on the personal page only. For example, I'll correct the date of birth to January 1st, 1990. Let's go back to the personal page. I'll edit the date field. When I save the page, the change I made will be transmitted to the date of birth field in the insurance record automatically. I'll continue to add information about the insurance company based on what I received from my patient. Set the workplace, if applicable, in the employer field. Use this field only if you are collecting insurance provided through employment. Otherwise, the patient is self-insured, and this field can be left blank. With many Canadian insurance companies, the ID is identical to the Canadian Social Insurance number. I will add the ID and save the page when finished. Notice the color of the font is back to normal. This indicates I made no changes since the last save. For some patients, more than one insurance is applicable. For example, through spouses who are both insured. This provides them with the ability to coordinate. A spouse's insurance is considered secondary. Add it after the primary insurance has already been recorded when possible. Although the secondary nature of a record is governed by the relationship to patient field, let's add a new record for secondary insurance. Press the Add Insurance Information Sheet button on the toolbar again. Notice the number 2 in the icon, reminding you this is the second insurance. In my example, the patient's spouse is already in the system. I'll select her by pressing the Select Another Person from the Database button from within the new record. I will type the last name in the Find box at the top to filter the list. Select the name and press OK. The primary insurance for this person was already documented earlier in her file. Most fields are populated automatically and are locked to prevent accidental changes to that patient's data where they belong. The only field that is actually editable here is the Relationship to Patient field, where I can specify, for example, spouse or mother. Or if I found that the entry I need is missing, I could just press the plus button and navigate to the related dictionary, just like before. I am choosing spouse in this example, which is already there. If the spouse had more than one insurance record, The fields you see here would be populated from a record marked as primary insurance. By marked, I mean I would use the self term in the relation to patient field. Even so, I will verify by pressing the Open the Patient Document button here, which displays the linked spouse file. Select the insurance page, and indeed, there is only one insurance and is marked as self. These were all the structured containers for personal information, and were typically collected when the patient joined the practice. Remember that whenever you stumble upon a nugget of data that doesn't fit anywhere, you can always log it on the data page, which is discussed in a separate tutorial. If you wish to log medical and prescription history about the patient, watch the Collecting Medical Information tutorial to find out more. I hope you found this information valuable. Thank you for watching.